The camera shows a peaceful Minecraft world. Birds chirp, trees sway, and a calm breeze blows through the pixelated grass. Steve, in his iconic blue shirt and pants, is walking through the forest, gathering resources. The sun is setting, and the sky turns shades of pink and orange. Steve, mumbling to himself. A nice quiet day. Finally some time to build without any interruptions. Steve begins cutting down a tree, then notices something in the distance. A flash of white in the trees. His eyes narrow as he stares at the figure. Steve, to himself. What was that? He cautiously approaches the location, but as he steps forward, a flash of lightning strikes the ground, creating a massive crater. Herobrine appears out of the smoke, his glowing white eyes piercing through the darkness. Herobrine, in a deep, distorted voice. You shouldn't have come here, Steve. Steve's hand instinctively goes to his sword. He's ready for a fight. Steve. Who are you? What do you want? Herobrine, smiling eerily. I've been watching you. You've been too comfortable. It's time to end that. Herobrine raises his hands and the ground around them begins to tremble. Steve, why are you doing this? What do you gain from all this chaos? Herobrine, you think this world is just for you to build and explore? There's more to it than that. I seek to bring balance, to challenge the complacent. Steve, balance by causing destruction? I won't let you ruin what we've built. Herobrine, then prepare yourself, Steve. This world is about to change. The stage is set for an epic showdown. The ultimate battle between Steve and Herobrine is about to begin. Steve charges forward, swinging his sword, but Herobrine vanishes in a burst of smoke. The ground shakes again as Herobrine reappears behind him, laughing. Herobrine, mocking. You think you can defeat me? I am beyond your world. Herobrine summons a pack of wither skeletons from the shadows, and they begin to charge at Steve. Steve swiftly draws his bow and fires arrows, taking them out one by one. Steve, gritting his teeth. I've fought mobs before. You're nothing I can't handle. Herobrine smiles, his eyes glowing brighter. Herobrine, we'll see about that. With a wave of his hand, Herobrine causes the terrain to shift. Lava begins to pour from the sky, and fire spreads across the ground. Steve quickly builds a shelter around him to avoid the heat, but the ground beneath him starts to crack open. Steve, focused, looking around. This is bad. But I can do this. Steve quickly constructs a defensive wall, then grabs a potion of regeneration from his inventory. He drinks it and charges back into the fray, swinging his sword at Herobrine's minions. Herobrine appears once more, standing above him on a floating block of obsidian. Herobrine, you cannot win. The end is near. With a single flick of his wrist, Herobrine summons a massive storm of lightning. The lightning strikes Steve's protective wall, and the explosion knocks him back. Steve's armor takes damage, but he's still standing. Steve takes a moment to recover. His heart pounds, but he knows he can't give up. He pulls out his enchanted diamond sword, the blade glowing with power. Steve, to himself, I'm not going down without a fight. He spots a pile of obsidian near the crater and quickly gathers it to build a portal. As he completes it, he hears Herobrine's voice in the distance. Herobrine, running away now, Steve? Pathetic. Steve ignores him and steps into the portal. The world around him blurs, and he emerges in a strange dark dimension filled with swirling black clouds and floating islands. Steve, looking around. What is this place? Herobrine, echoing. Welcome to my domain. Suddenly, Herobrine appears before him in a surge of dark energy. Herobrine. This is where I am strongest, Steve. You're finished. Steve takes a deep breath, his hand clutching his enchanted sword. Herobrine summons a massive army of mobs, including Enderman and Blaze, surrounding him on all sides. The ground beneath them cracks open as they fight. Steve shouting over the chaos. I won't let you destroy everything! With a swift movement, Steve uses his sword to send a wave of energy, clearing out Herobrine's minions. The fight grows more intense, with Herobrine using his powers to control the environment, sending lava floods, explosive blasts, and sharp winds towards Steve. Steve yelling, I'm not afraid of you. In a final desperate move, Steve charges straight at Herobrine, dodging lightning and fire. As he reaches Herobrine, he leaps into the air, sword raised. Steve, roaring, this ends now! With a powerful strike, Steve drives his sword into Herobrine's chest. A blinding light erupts as Herobrine lets out a terrible scream. The dark dimension begins to collapse as Herobrine's form shatters into particles, his presence disappearing. The storm vanishes, the sky returns to a peaceful blue, and the surrounding land starts to heal. Steve, bruised and battered, stumbles to his feet, wiping the sweat from his brow. The portal back to the overworld flickers in front of him. Steve, panting, looking at the destroyed landscape. That was close. He steps into the portal, returning to the safety of his home where the world is once again peaceful. He looks at the horizon, knowing that Herobrine is gone, but always wondering if he might return. Steve, quietly to himself, if he ever comes back, I'll be ready. The camera zooms out, showing Steve's small figure standing tall against the vast, peaceful world. The screen fades to black.